I am constantly intrigued by children raised by narcissistic parents. In this video, we will talk about the strange traits these children endure. What will unfold in this exploration? Trait number 1. Withdrawal from friends or usual activities. One of the distinctive traits observed in children abused by narcissistic parents is their withdrawal from friends and usual activities. This withdrawal is often a defense mechanism, a way for the child to protect themselves from potential judgment or criticism as they navigate the challenging dynamics at home. The narcissistic parent's demand for constant attention and emotional energy may leave the child emotionally exhausted, leading them to isolate themselves from social circles and activities they once enjoyed. Imagine a child who was once bubbly and engaged suddenly becoming reserved and avoiding social gatherings. This withdrawal may signify their struggle to cope with the emotional turmoil at home. For instance, a teenager who was once actively involved in extracurricular activities may suddenly quit and become distant from friends as the fear of judgment and the need to navigate their complex home life becomes overwhelming. Trait number 2. Changes in behavior, aggression, anger, hostility, or hyperactivity. Children exposed to narcissistic parenting may exhibit notable changes in behavior, often expressing themselves through aggression, anger, hostility, or hyperactivity. These behaviors are external manifestations of the internal conflict they experience due to the constant emotional manipulation and unpredictability of their narcissistic parent. It becomes a coping mechanism to release pent-up frustration and regain a semblance of control in their lives. Consider a child who, in response to their parents' unrealistic expectations and constant criticism, starts displaying aggressive behavior towards peers or siblings. This outward aggression may be an attempt to assert control in a life where they feel constantly controlled. Alternatively, a child might develop hyperactive tendencies, using constant movement as an outlet for the stress and emotional turbulence they endure at home. Trait number 3. Anxiety or unusual fears. Children of narcissistic parents often grapple with anxiety and unusual fears as a result of the constant unpredictability and emotional manipulation within the household. The fear of not meeting their parents' unrealistic expectations or facing their wrath can create a pervasive sense of unease, impacting the child's mental and emotional well-being. These anxieties may extend beyond the immediate family context, affecting the child's ability to trust and form healthy relationships. Picture a child who, due to the emotional volatility at home, develops an intense fear of failure or rejection. This fear may be deeply rooted in their experiences with a narcissistic parent who consistently made them feel inadequate. As a result, the child may become anxious in situations where they feel their performance is being scrutinized, hindering their personal and academic development. Trait number 4. Loss of self-confidence. Narcissistic parenting often leads to a gradual erosion of a child's self-confidence. Through constant criticism and belittlement, the narcissistic parent undermines the child's self-esteem, making them doubt their abilities and self-worth. The struggle for validation from a narcissistic parent can leave lasting scars on their self-esteem, influencing their perception of themselves and their capabilities. Imagine a scenario where a once confident child starts second-guessing every decision they make, fearing that it will not meet their parents' standards. A teenager, for instance, who was once enthusiastic about pursuing their interests, may lose faith in their abilities, believing they are inherently flawed. This loss of self-confidence can impact various aspects of the child's life, from academic performance to social interactions. Surprisingly, 90% of you haven't subscribed yet, so please hit that subscribe button and give this video a quick like to support us in the YouTube algorithm. Thank you. Now, let's continue, shall we? Trait number 5. Frequent absences from school. A concerning trait in children of narcissistic parents is the frequent absence from school, reflecting the emotional toll of narcissistic abuse on their academic performance. The toxic dynamics at home may create a challenging environment for the child to focus on their studies, leading to a decline in attendance and a potential disconnect from the educational system. Consider a child who, due to the emotional turmoil at home, starts missing school more frequently than usual. This absenteeism may be a result of the child's struggle to cope with the toxic dynamics at home, affecting their ability to maintain a regular school routine. The decline in academic performance may be a direct consequence of the emotional challenges they face within their family environment. Trait number 6. Rebellious behavior. Children raised by narcissistic parents may exhibit rebellious behavior as a way to assert their independence and regain control over their lives. The constant control and manipulation from the narcissistic parent create a volatile dynamic within the family, prompting the child to rebel against authority figures as a means of establishing their autonomy. Imagine a teenager who, feeling suffocated by the strict rules and expectations of a narcissistic parent, starts engaging in rebellious behavior. This could range from defiance of household rules to resisting authority figures in school. The rebellion becomes a way for the child to break free from the constraints imposed upon them, albeit in a manner that may be detrimental to their overall well-being. Trait number 7. Self-harm. In extreme cases, the internal pain and emotional turmoil experienced by children of narcissistic parents may lead to self-harming behaviors. This alarming trait often serves as a maladaptive coping mechanism, allowing the child to release emotional pain or regain a sense of control in a life otherwise dictated by a narcissistic parent. Consider a scenario where a teenager, overwhelmed by the emotional abuse at home, resorts to self-harm as a way to cope with the internal pain. This could manifest as cutting or other forms of self-injury, providing a temporary release from the emotional distress they endure. Self-harm becomes a desperate attempt to regain control over their own body and emotions in the midst of a tumultuous family environment. Because you reached this part of the video, here is a bonus knowledge for you. Trait number 8. Not close to parents or afraid to go with parents. Paradoxically, children of narcissistic parents may become emotionally distant from their caregivers. The fear of rejection, coupled with a lack of genuine emotional connection, may make them reluctant to open up or seek comfort from their parents. In severe cases, the fear of going with their parents may stem from past traumatic experiences or a general sense of mistrust. Imagine a child who, due to the constant emotional manipulation from a narcissistic parent, becomes emotionally distant and hesitant to share their thoughts and feelings. Despite the parental role, the child may avoid seeking comfort or guidance from their narcissistic parent, as they have learned that vulnerability is often met with criticism or neglect. This emotional distance can strain the parent-child relationship, creating a barrier that prevents healthy emotional bonding. It becomes evident that understanding these peculiar traits is not merely an academic exercise, but a crucial step toward empathy and support. By shedding light on these silent struggles, we empower ourselves to recognize, intervene, and provide the necessary compassion for those navigating the complex aftermath of narcissistic abuse. The resilience exhibited by these children, often hidden behind the veil of peculiar behaviors, is a testament to the indomitable human spirit. It is our collective responsibility to foster environments where these silent cries can be heard and healing can begin. Together, let us champion awareness, empathy, and change for a future where no child has to endure the haunting legacy of narcissistic abuse in silence.